50 kilometers north of the Simeon Mountains. 2,000 years ago, the metropolis of Aksum, the capital of the empire of the same name, was bustling. In the 1st century AD, the Aksum Empire dominated much of northeast Africa, controlling the routes and trade hubs between India, the Arabian Peninsula, and Roman Empire. During the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD, the Aksumite Empire became the 4th world power, after Rome, Persia, and China, with its own monetary currency. The symbol of the Aksumite Empire was carved granite pillars.
Aksum is the beginning of everything, the heart and soul of Ethiopian civilization. The word Aksum, when we interpret in these two languages, Ak means in Cushitic is water, and in Semitic is a kingdom of water. This is one definition. But in Ge'ez, Aksum means a green area or dense forest. And the local people, they have an interpretation for Aksum. They believe that the name comes from a name of king of Aksum. He's called Aksumawi. He was a grandson of Noah, or Noah. And the last Aksum means the land of diamond, the land of precious stone. So the function of the obelisk is standing here in the ancient city of Aksum is one, there are tomb markers, marking tombs of different people. The other one shows the power of kings. There is a different size of obelisks, so there was a competition of power among different kings. The third, you can see in the stele there are windows, circular design, and a door in the middle. So these are telling us about the Aksumite architecture building style. And the last, that was the belief. You can see the top of the stele is a half moon. They believe in God of the moon. The moon represents paradise. You can see at the bottom there is a door to paradise. In the middle, the windows or the stories are telling they are the access to go to paradise, ladder to go to paradise. This is the largest decorated stele found in the world. It's 520 tons and 33.3 meters high, decorated in all 4 sides, and it has 12 windows, stories. This stele was collapsed because of poor basement. The foundation is not enough strong. So each obelisk, they are marking a tomb, and they have underground tombs. This is the oldest and magnificent building with a sarcophagus. So this sarcophagus is never open yet, just a rock, but it's a special granite stone, and it has something different sound, and you can hear it, you know. There are different opinions about this. Some people say it's unfinished sarcophagus, and the other people say no, this is just a rock that has naturally metallic or iron sound.
Near the ancient water reservoir, called the Pool of Queen Makeda, ruler of Sheba, the legendary land that is the cradle of Ethiopian civilization, in 325 AD, the Aksumite Emperor Ezana ordered setup of several granite slabs, inscribed in the 3 languages, Greek, Sabian, and Ge'ez, currently recognized as Ethiopian Rosetta stones.
So this is, we call it Ezana inscription. Ezana, he was the first Christian king in the world. After he defeated Yemen, he came back and he wrote many inscriptions. And this is one of them, and it was found by farmers. So the inscription is written in 3 languages. Ge'ez, the old official language of Ethiopia, or the father of Amharic and Tigrinya. And that's here. It's written, so it's like English, left, right. And on the right side, it's a Greek language, the commercial language. And on the left side is the Sabian, right, left, or zigzag, the Queen of Sheba's language.
In 330 AD, Emperor Ezana recognized Christianity as the state religion. By this decree, they ended the erection of the steles, and approved the replacement of the Semitic symbols of the half-moon and the disk of the sun, with the sign of the cross, on Aksumite coins. According to legend from this period, a mysterious item had been brought to the Aksum metropolis from a small island called Tana Kirkos, lying in Lake Tana. On the island of Tana Kirkos, surrounded by vertical cliffs, it was kept, under the care of monks, for 800 years, object of interaction between God and man. A divine artifact, the Moses Ark of the Covenant.
Jesteśmy na wyspie Tana Kirkos, to właśnie tu. Przez ponad 800 lat ponoć przechowywana była Arka Przymierza. Arka Przymierza była bezpośrednim środkiem komunikacji pomiędzy Izraelitami a Bogiem. W niej przechowywano kamienne tablice z przykazaniami, naczynie z manną, a także laskę Aarona. Prowadzi nas teraz jeden z mnichów do miejsca, gdzie przez 800 lat przechowywano Arkę Przymierza.
As you can see, those 4 holes. So that hole was for standing the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant were standing here. When the King Solomon he gives them the Ark of the Covenant as a present, Azarias was also, he was accompanied by a lot of priests from Israel. Then they came here, so they used it yes, for sacrification. The Ark of the Covenant, almost 800 years, had been in these places. Finally, after Christian Orthodox religious officially declared in the 4th century, it was moved to Aksum. Still, it's kept in Aksum.
To this day, on the island can be seen a flat rock with holes drilled in it, which were used to fasten the ark to the ground, and a stone altar standing next to it, at which for centuries Ethiopians, who professed Judaism at that time, carried out tribute to God, burnt sacrifices and offerings. The monks also store ancient artifacts that, together with the Ark of the Covenant, arrived on the island over 2,500 years ago. A bronze bowl, called Gomer, in which priests collected the blood of sacrificed animals. Metal forks decorated with a symbol of a budding almond flower, used to place offerings on the altar. And the breastplate called the ephod, which the high priest wore during the ordinances of the Ark. When Ethiopia converted to Christianity, the Judean practice of burnt offerings ceased. The Ark of the Covenant was sent to Aksum, and redundant ceremonial artifacts remained on the island. According to the tales contained in the Ethiopian epic from the 13th century, Kebra Nagast, glories of the kings of Abyssinia, the mysterious founder of ancient Aksum, Menelik I, son of King Solomon and Queen Makeda, ruler of the kingdom of Sheba, was supposed to bring the Ark of the Covenant to Ethiopia 2,500 years ago. Then, with the gold-plated wooden ark, several thousand Israelites came to Ethiopia. Currently, every church in Ethiopia keeps a replica of the biblical Ark of the Covenant, called Tabot, made of alabaster or acacia wood.
The Ark was brought by the son of Solomon and Queen Sheba, Menelik I. So the Ark is now kept inside the green window building.
According to the tradition of the Ethiopian Church, the Ark of the Covenant is now kept in the Chapel of the Tablets, in a small building, next to the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. No one is allowed to enter the Chapel of the Tablets, except for one solitary monk, who must watch over the Ark for the remainder of his life, and is never allowed to leave the chapel grounds. The biblical Ark rests in the crypt, protected by thick walls, barred windows, guarded by spiked iron railings, and the faithful, who are ready to sacrifice their lives for it. This statement was attested by one event on a dark November night in the year 2020, when 800 people died protecting access to the Chapel of the Tablets from a group of armed men trying to get inside. During my visit to this place, I was pleasantly surprised to witness the opening of the mahogany door in the Chapel of the Tablets, from where a procession carrying not one, but 2 tablets chest came out and carried them to the nearby Basilica of Our Lady of Zion. From of the thousands tablets in Ethiopia that represent the Ark of the Covenant, these 2 tablets were undeniably the closest to the original Ark. The account of the greatest relic of antiquity, the Ark of the Covenant, kept in Aksum, is the foundation of the existence of the Solomon dynasty in Ethiopia, which lasted 25 centuries, until 1975, and ending with the death of Ethiopia's 225th emperor, Haile Selassie. The legend of Menelik, the son of Solomon, is affirmed by the ruins, lying on the outskirts of the Aksum called Dungar, an ancient mansion of Queen Makeda, ruler of the ancient land of Sheba. It was from here that Queen Makeda went on a 2-month journey to Jerusalem, to travel almost 2,000 kilometers to reach King Solomon's palace with a caravan loaded with precious and fabulous gifts.
We are here 2 kilometers west of Aksum, and this is a site called Dungur Palace, and locally it's called Queen of Sheba's Palace. So the Ethiopian history is more famous from the Queen of Sheba time, which is 3,000 years old. And she was a famous trader. She exported black wood, precious stone, and frankincense. She had a merchant, his name was Tamrin. He took all these 3 things and he went to Solomon and he sold these things, and because Solomon was collecting different materials to build a Jerusalem temple. And then when there's a merchant of Queen of Sheba stayed in Israel, he observed about the wisdom of Solomon, and he came here and he told the Queen of Sheba about the fame and the wisdom of him, and she impressed by him, and she decided to go to Jerusalem, and she went with a lot of gifts. So she stayed there 6 months. She visited the palace, the temple, and then they had a dinner. The king, he ordered the servants to prepare the food more salty, spicy and hot. So they had a dinner. Before they went to bed, the king, he asked the Queen of Sheba, it's just a promise, and that was, if you need anything, please ask me and I'll serve you. And in the midnight, the queen felt thirsty because she had a salty food. So Solomon, he put the water container beside him. So when she was trying to find the water, she close to him and she make noise, and he wake up, and after that he hold her hand and he said, why you broke your promise? I told you you're gonna ask me to serve you. So because of that and other stories, make them to sleep one night together, and in the morning he asked her the second promise, that was, if you're born a male, please give him the gold ring. So on the way back to Aksum, when she arrived in Eritrea, she gave him a boy and she called him Menelik. So he grew up here and she gave him the gold ring, and he went to his father. He stayed there 3 years and learned the Hebrew language and culture, and as the end he brought the original Ark of the Covenant to Ethiopia, and now it's kept in Aksum. So when he brought the Ark, then he became a king of Aksum, and he ruled Aksum for about 25 years. So Queen of Sheba, she introduced the Solomonic dynasty in Ethiopia, a Jewish culture in Ethiopia. She introduced the connection between the 2 countries, Israel and Ethiopia.
Another piece of evidence that confirms the ancient relationship of Ethiopia with the Kingdom of Solomon is the Temple of Yeha, located east of Aksum. A temple built 800 BC, from perfectly dressed and fitted together, without a trace of mortar, huge limestone blocks. Impresses with a style and technique not found in sub-Saharan Africa at that time. The rectangular building was undoubtedly modeled on the only known similar sacred building at that time, the Temple of Solomon of Jerusalem.
So we are here 55 kilometers east of Aksum, in a place called Yeha. This region is the cradle of ancient Ethiopian civilization. This is the Moon Temple, the great temple of Yeha, the oldest temple under sub-Saharan country. According to archaeologists, this temple was built 8th century BC, which is more than 2,700 years old. And when you see the temple, it's really amazing because it's done with a sandstone. They just feed them together. They never use a cement mortar. incredible building. It has two double wall, like the inside and outside part is very smooth. Originally it was 25 meters high, now approximately 12 meters high. So it has 12 pillars inside, separated in 3 rooms. The inside part of the corner to where they sacrifice the animal. The Ark of the Covenant was also kept here for a while.
Inside the building, there are typical elements of a Hebrew temple: a sacrificial altar with a blood reservoir used in cult ceremonies, and a place for ritual ablution. Artifacts found here during the excavations, such as a censer with Semitic symbols of the moon and the sun, carvings, reliefs with ibexes, and stone slabs with inscriptions in the Sabian language of Queen Makeda, and with Ge'ez writing, confirm Ethiopia's close trades and religious contacts with the Solomon's kingdom of Israel in the biblical time.